And then later we will unmute if we feel to dialogue in any way. We also have a beautiful sister, Julia, with us, who is going to allow sound healing to come through after we share the transmissions, with the intention of assimilation, wordless assimilation. Because even though these transmissions come through from nature translated into our human language here, English, they're really frequency based. So to absorb them often takes a place of deep bathing. And Julia, thank you so much for offering that. So let's call in our family, our kin, this one interbreathing web of life that supports us in our remembrance of who we are. This herd here that has been called the herd of light for about a decade, since Yoshi introduced herself to us. And Yoshi and Travis, who's right here behind me, and Khalil, who is finishing up his lunch. And Taz. And there's Yoshi. And we have an unseen presence that is always guiding the ship, the herd here, and that is Omar. And call in all of your beloved animal soul friends that share intimate day-to-day life with you. Just call them here from your heart, bringing them in, all of the beloved canine companions, those beings of light that are disguised as dogs and cats and all of the farm animals who live so closely interbreathing with our brothers and sisters, pigs and goats and sheep, all the horse beings that are in your life, the equines and donkeys, mules and minis, the winged ones. Let's call in all of the winged beings, the birds, the butterflies, and the unseen winged ones. And let's call in fully Mother Gaia herself, her body, her skin, soil, her elements dancing. The trees, and feeling our interbreathing with the trees. As we extend down our own roots. And the flowers and plant beings, rock beings and mountains, crystals, minerals. All of the animal beings that seem so far away in exotic places, perhaps, but are really nearer than our very breath. The oceanic beings, water itself. And if there's any being that's just knocking on your heart door, just feel them here. Their presence has, in fact, knocked to be drawn in closer. And then feeling our brothers and sisters, our universan family, our ever evolving species. Inviting all to breathe, interbreathe more fully with us as our intentions converge here and co-create. And we'll allow this convergence to ripple out as a gift. First in, fully overflowing out on the breath. We invite in the silence that is holding all. As we allow these offerings from the heart of nature to flow through each one of us as a unique instrument. But all part of this one-hearted symphony. And our theme, if we need to put a word on the frequency that is being honed through these transmissions today, is present moment as your homeland, or present moment as your native tongue. And a deep exploration of this from this lens of coming home to the present moment. So let's open up our hooves, our antenna, our wings, our gills, the skin, as sentience, perceiving the frequency of these transmissions, which is really one of transmitting us directly home into the present moment. And allow the mind to witness. This transmission came through from the bees who were very present today, this morning, as the sun came out. One landed right on my notes, my hand, the horses as I was brushing them. These beautiful, abundant bees. Each moment is a feast. And if you are already full, then how do you take in a feast? How do you meet each note morsel if you are already full? And if you arrive starving, how then do you take in the feast? How do you meet each note morsel that appears when you arrive starving? But if you arrive empty and open, meeting each note morsel as a complete symphony. If you arrive empty and open, meeting each note morsel is a complete symphony in itself. Each moment is a feast. And if you're already full, how do you take in the feast? How do you meet each note morsel when you are already full? And if you arrive starving, how do you take in the feast? How do you meet each note morsel that appears when you arrive starving? But if you arrive empty and open, meeting each note morsel is a complete symphony in itself. So here in this moment, a feast, and you're meeting anew in each moment. And perhaps you can just allow your cells to arrange themselves as already full for a moment and come and meet what appears to be a new moment from there. Notice what the dance looks like, feels like. Its rhythm, its cadence, the receptivity of your instrument when already full. And then shifting yourself to an arrangement of your cells starving, grasping with a certain hunger and fear. And notice what then this meeting of the feast, of this moment, feels like. And what is actually created through that convergence. And then coming home to a natural state, a porous emptiness. Perhaps this can be called humility. In meeting the moment, feeling the dance. A transmission from Omar, who is now in the vast formless realms. He embodied a Black Tennessee Walker member, a guiding member, an elder of our herd, and is still guiding us. This transmission from Omar, as Travis here, who came in on the flow of Omar's dissolution of form. Travis is just plunked down in the mud. And Khalil is thinking about doing the same. The now is space. You are space. The now is here. You are here. The now is infinite. You are infinite. Intimacy with the now is intimacy with yourself. Who are you? Let the question waft through the ether on the current of right now. And look nowhere. Look now here as the answer discovers you. The now is space. You are space. The now is here. You are here. The now is infinite. You are infinite. Intimacy with the now is intimacy with yourself. Who are you? Let the question waft through the ether on the currents of now. And look nowhere. Look now here as the answer discovers you. It may just be time to relearn and to unlearn how to be naturally in the presence of the present. It may be time to relearn here and now and unlearn to be in the presence of the present. You know how. It is your native language. It is your homeland. The present moment does not live in your mind. Suchness is uncoated by thoughts. Pure, shining isness. There's no need to keep track of suchness. They're simply meeting suchness anew in each breath. So let's take a breath and meet suchness, uncoated suchness, relinquishing keeping track of suchness, being fully in the presence of the present. Relearning and unlearning how to be in the presence of the present. Feeling the presence of the present. You know how. It's your native language and it is your homeland. The present does not live in your mind. Suchness is uncoated by thoughts. Pure, shining isness. Presence. There's no need to keep track of suchness. They're simply meeting suchness anew in each breath. Thank you, Teddy, for breathing out, releasing so unabashedly, as horses do. And as Travis snores, Teddy snorts, making room. To become natural. Suchness simply is. Pure, shining isness. Simply is. But to keep track of isness converts it to business. Isness is none of our business. Isness is none of your business. Isness simply is. And isness is only here in this present moment portal. Shining, luminous, pure isness. Simply is. But to keep track of isness converts it. into business. Isness is none of your business. Isness simply is. Isness is only here in this present moment portal. Precious presence of the present moment portal. What do you bring to isness? Whatever you bring to isness, that song that is predominant, which typically involves a song of thoughts, a song of resistance or fear, a song of aversion, projection, judgment, or a depth of intention. Whatever you bring to isness, whatever predominant song you bring, shapes its flow from simplicity to complexity. And the present moment is always simply simple. Whatever you bring to isness, the song that is predominant, which usually involves a song of your thoughts, a song of resistance or fear, aversion, projection, or a depth of intention. Whatever you bring as your predominant song all shapes the flow of isness from its innate simplicity to complexity. And the present moment is always simply simple. Let's breathe this moment together. Freeing the present moment. And bathing in its pure simplicity, its pure luminosity. And noticing when the mind is touched by the presence of the present. The mind bathes too. So we invite the mind in fully to bathe. This transmission, this next one, came from the herd this morning. I knew that if I was too noisy in my own mental streams, that they would get up from their sleeping. They were all lying down, but I so much wanted to bathe with them in their sphere. So I experimented and became very simple. And was able to come in and sit down and feel the amplified field of silence. And then this transmission came through. We stand in the sun, in the warmth of the sun. It is all done. You see, here, all is done. The frosty earth of last night is simply undone. We simply are here, interbreathing as one, with nothing to do, yet all is done. We stand here in the sun, in the warmth of the sun. It is all done. You see here, all is done. The frosted earth of last night is simply undone. We simply are here, interbreathing as one, with nothing to do, yet here, all is done. Have you ever noticed why? Have you ever noticed why? Have you ever understood deeply from within why it is you feel so often so unnatural, and so ill at ease, and so not at home, and so uncomfortable in your own skin? This feeling, this lingering feeling your whole life, that your life is too tight, that your body is too limited, a deep, deep longing your whole life for release. You came here as embodied, shining suchness, and have turned yourself seemingly into embodied striving. Yes, to strive is to stretch, and to stretch feels more resonant with the vastness that you are. But striving is a substitute for dropping, for simply dropping into this very moment. Striving is a substitute for simply dropping into this very moment. The vastness of this moment and the vastness of who you are one. One resounding symphony. Come deeper here. Drop striving and drop into the vastness you are. This is what your striving was trying to provide you with. A return to the untrackable vastness of you. The untrackable vastness of all. The untrackable isness that simply is here and now. Have you ever noticed why? Understood deeply from within why you feel so often so unnatural, so ill at ease, so not at home in your own skin? This feeling lingering your whole life, that your life feels too tight, your body too limited, and a deep longing for release. You came here as embodied, shining suchness, and have seemingly turned yourself into embodied striving. Yes, to strive is to stretch. And to stretch feels more resonant with the vastness that you are. But striving is a substitute for simply dropping, into this very present moment. The vastness of this moment and the vastness of you are one. One symphony. One untrackable vastness. This is what your striving was trying to provide you a return to. This untrackable vastness of you. This untrackable vastness of all. This untrackable vastness of the isness that simply is here and now. So we will listen to some sound frequencies now for our fullest absorption, integration, and nourishment. So feeling this moment, a new feast, meeting this moment anew from empty openness. And this transmission was left out. I didn't see it until now. But in this new moment of open emptiness, another morsel note, a pointer from the heart of nature. Become intimate with what keeps you out of your native homeland of shining isness, here and now. Whatever it is that shows up and tries to keep you out of your homeland, of the moment. Welcome it right here and shine the present moment light of you on it. And watch and watch. Do you carry with you a conditioned belief that there is just not enough time? It is time to recycle that into infinitude. It's time to recycle that into infinitude, into the infinity of this moment. Feel what beautiful, powerful, liberated energy you have just regenerated for all. By recycling the belief that there is just not enough time into the vast, open, empty arms of infinity. As recycled children of the universe, you are children of freedom. As recycled children of the universe, you are children of freedom, children of this moment. The moment is your mother. The moment is your mother. There is no reality of running out of time here. This moment is timeless. Feel that more deeply here and now. Feel that more deeply than ever here in this moment. This moment is timeless. And now bathe in that. And feel how the spur of your belief in limited time has been dangling and threatening you right next to your ribs so that you can't take a full breath. Dangling and threatening you with each stride. That belief of running out of time. Moving you faster. It is time to drop these spurs and recycle them. And watch the base metal alchemize to gold. The gold of the present moment. Your homeland. So feel yourself taking off these spurs that have been dangling and spurring you on faster. And let them melt in the sun and come undone in the sun of this moment. Where all is done. With hands over heart, gratitude first deeply to yourself as a nature being. Gratitude to one another for this amplified space of presence, which allows us to return to a porosity of bathing in presence. And let's breathe in and simply breathe out this gift as an offering to the interbreathing whole. And dear friends, if you need to go, feel free to flow. And if you feel to stay for a moment, if there's anything you would like to share, now is the time. This auspicious heart banquet is a beautiful place to make an offering of hearing your voice. But having said that, and having opened the space for that, also knowing that your silence is fully received as an offering too. But do feel free, if there is something you would like to lend words to, lend your voice to, feel free to unmute. Yeah. Thank you, Sherry, for honoring the music, the sacred sound bath. Thank you, Julia. There's nothing like it. I still hear it. Mm.
Sabina, I just wanted to say that that one transmission that came in this morning um, with the horses when you came out and they were so quiet, it the simplicity of it was so beautiful that it just kind of like infused every cell of my body, but it also had the it reminded me, like, I love that it came at this time of year because the cadence of it reminded me of the poem "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Like, it just had this beautiful kind of, like, it was like the New Year poem, you know? It was just beautiful.
Oh, thank you for your direct experience. Thank you. I do believe that was its intention. Thank you. Thank you for speaking. It's so beautiful to hear your voice too. A lot is transmitted in a voice. Mm.
Um, Hi.
Hi, Anne.
Hi. I think just to say it's amazing from the isness and the simplicity and the all done and the layering of that showed how much um, is the anxiety that is underneath all that, or that hasn't considered that or doesn't allow that. Like, in a way, each washing of those words just showed how braced, I mean, even when you don't think you're braced, but how braced I am, at least, against all that, or not even considering any of that, the done, all done. So that was wonderful, amazing.
What a miracle through such simplicity, such undoing
Mm.
could flow through where you could experience all complete. All is done. That's a miracle.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank
allowing.
you. Mm.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And just to gently become aware of the other songs of tension in a gentle, noticing presence way. That's such a beautiful gift. Thank you for lending voice. It's so beautiful to hear your voice. And you can see the beings here are just so um, bathing. Let's take a breath together of the energy of presence that can only be touched and directly met here and now. Bless you, Sherry. I don't know if you can hear, Teddy is having a dream and he's processing, nickering, whinnying in his sleep. So allowing ourselves to process now, just by breathing. Bathing in presence, breath by breath. We'll send this blessing, which is a breathed and lived and embodied blessing out as a gift now to the whole. And happy now here to each and every one. Beloveds, thank you for being. So much love, interbreathing. I'll see you again and again, beloved. Nowhere, now here.